Hi everyone, it's Joanna from Concept Wedding Designs. Today I'm going to show you my basic brush set. These are the 10 brushes that I use the most and are the brush set that I would recommend you adding to your collection first before adding all the others. Whenever I colour in any of these elements, such as the chairs and the tables, I use brushes from this brush set every single time. So this is the kind of core collection that I recommend the most. Now, if you want to add 10 free brush sets to your collection for free, there's a link below you can click, and it includes some of these brushes actually, and you'll get it straight to your inbox and you can start drawing today. And if you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you're the first to hear about new videos that go live. So this is my basic brush set and it contains these 10 brushes. They are very simple yet very, very powerful, and I use them so often in my designs. So I create all of my brush sets for wedding professionals who are looking to elevate their design services by creating unique and artistic illustrations of their designs. And if you want to learn how to bring your own wedding table designs to life on your iPad, I do have an online course which is self-paced study. You get lifetime access, and you also get 12 brush sets that I have for sale in my Etsy store. All of those are included in my course, and I guide you through the course from introducing the basics of Procreate to you all the way through the process of creating individual pieces such as the tables and the chairs and the greenery, and we practice a couple of whole table designs together, and then we move on to more advanced topics such as adding your own artistic style and how to add unique things such as adding text to your illustrations and logos and much more. So if you're interested in learning this process and how you can create your own table illustrations, just click on the link in the description below and you can learn more there. So let me show you these 10 brush sets that I use most often in my designs. So the first one is this round brush. It's a very simple way of adding colour very quickly, and also a very quick way of using it as an eraser. And it's pressure sensitive, so the more you press on the screen, the darker that shape gets, which is a great way of adding variation quickly in your designs. Now the next two are your more kind of simple outliner, thin detail brushes. It's very sensitive, so it'll pick up all the wobbles that you have in your hand, so you need to be careful with this one, and it's a really good way of just adding small details onto a design. This one is a little bit thicker and has a tapered edge, as you can see here. As you lift off at the end, it's kind of tapered at each end, and that's also a good way of adding details if you need to. The shading brush is a great way of adding your kind of highlights to things like your ghost chairs, any glassware on your tables like candle hurricane vases. Adding this in white on a black background. So if I just create a dark shape here, take this shading brush in white, you can reduce the opacity, and this is a good way of adding kind of glare, so kind of reflections on something. So if there was a ghost chair here or a hurricane vase, so any glassware, it's a great way of just adding in that detail there. So next up, the watercolor brush is probably my most used brush. I use this to add color to all of the brush stamps, and it's just got such nice variation to it. It adds a lot of kind of creative flair to your illustrations. And next is the draping tool. This, as it suggests, is just perfect for adding draping to a kind of walls, to ceilings. Great for adding table runners. And it's got quite a high wet mix on this brush setting, so as you kind of go back over the same area, it kind of drags the colour through as if it's kind of watercolour painting. and you can use this, add in different layers of colour for the detail. And the next three I use quite often when I'm finishing off any centerpieces or greenery details. They are very good for kind of creating leaves and things like that. So again, pressure sensitive, so the more pressure, light pressure to hard pressure here. So I'm pressing lightly, adding pressure. You can just see how you can add kind of leaf shapes and details really quickly. And again, it's got that kind of watercolor effect, so there's quite a lot of detail within the brush itself. This is a more defined leaf shape, and again, the more pressure you add, the wider that shape gets. So it's a really good way of kind of adding details to greenery shapes. And this is very similar to the previous one, but it's a very heavy watercolor. So if you're looking for that effect where you want to layer up, this one is kind of more kind of harder to use. You definitely don't need as much pressure. But again, you can see how you can quickly add shapes with that heavy watercolor effect. And that wet smudge brush at the bottom, which I don't use as a brush, but I use it within the kind of smudge setting, and you can use that to blend any color you want together. And you can see how you can quickly bring to life your design ideas on your iPad just using these brushes. In this example, I've used quite a few of the brushes that I've just shown you in that basic brush set, adding color, adding reflections, adding details in here, as well as some individual leaves to the kind of the detail of this backdrop. So again, if you're interested in having 10 free brushes, and the watercolor brush and the wet smudge brush are actually included in my free brush set. So if you want to add the free brush set to your collection, it includes 10 of my favorite brushes, and it's a selection from all of my brush sets. Just click the link in the description below and you'll get those brushes straight to your inbox, and you can add them to your Procreate library. And again, if you'd like to learn how to create wedding tablescapes like this, the link to the course is below and you can learn more about it there. You'll get 12 brush sets, and I'll teach you everything you need to know to create illustrations like this on your iPad.